Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Bolt City Podcast. Dave, Palet, and Mario Herron. We're missing somebody today. so
I, yeah,
it's weird, isn't it? That all of a sudden there's just only two people in the box, but it's Josh is out, and believe it or not, we do take vacation once in a while. The first time we started this show up, we agreed to it. Meaning Josh and I agreed to do the show, Mario, and it was the first time we actually ever worked with you. Mario was in Indianapolis, and I live in San Diego. Josh lives in Nashville, Tennessee. And then we started the show off. I was in Chicago. Josh was with me in Chicago. It was a Christmas gift he had planned to take me to Wrigley Field that I've never been to. And it was the first time we did a show. We were trying to run around that hotel. Remember figuring out where we were going to get it to work.
yeah,
It was,
yeah.
it was funny. And so finally, the place I settled at, Josh had the hotel room, and then I was downstairs and there's this big conference going on, man. And we get done talking, and I'm the whole time in my head, is this working? Like, I don't even know if we're doing a decent show. And I turn around and there are 30 people sitting there just watching us do this show. And I was like, oh, cool. I go, they liked it. And it was cool. Then we went from there and did the next show. We were in New York City because that was part of the trip. It was Yankee Stadium, and it was Citi Field, and it was Wrigley Field. And we're in New York City, and we're same thing. We're trying to run around. And man, right around that time when we were there was the Chargers' first game of the year. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
Full season. And dude, I got crazy sick. And I usually don't get sick like that, but like I was so sick. Josh is like, "We got to fly you back to California. I've never seen you this sick." And I'm trying to do the show. Dude, I can't hear, I can't smell. I couldn't breathe for anything. I'm running to every pharmacy trying to find something just so we could do a show. And then we knocked them out. And here we are. But we've gone through almost a year of doing these shows, and that for me they've been a tremendous amount of fun. I know for Josh too, but I think we're to the point where a person can take off on vacation like a normal human being, and we feel like, hey, we can kind of do this. We can pick up the pieces.
Yeah, and key thing that you kind of left out, but you're hinting at, we kind of adversity doesn't really affect us. I'm just gonna say that right now. We kind of went through that with New York, Chicago, Nashville. We're hitting every big city. It was very funny to be in when you were filming in like the conference room area. It was very funny to see your face when someone's walking by and talking because you had to mute really, really quickly. And it was also like our first show where like you didn't know where mute was right away. And it was very fun to see your face scan the whole site waiting for it. Yeah. We're also going to see how much people love Josh, because I guarantee you there's going to be a big certain percent that's going to see Dave and Mario and think, yeah, we're all set. Thanks, though. And for those people, I would like to say Josh is coming back very, very soon.
Yeah, Josh will be back soon. That is funny. I think out of the three of us, you and Josh 100% could do a show, and I think the audience would say, "Thank God that I almost cussed. That guy is gone," meaning me. I'm the guy that's always gets criticized for being negative. Oh yeah, 100%. I think it's just the way it goes, though. When you ever come out to visit me in San Diego, I mean, because they don't like what I say about the Padres either, people literally refer to me as the devil. So they get so upset when you talk about their team. I understand, but my thing is, nobody wants to be told, as we say, nobody wants to be told your baby's ugly. But when your team's not playing well, that's what we're all here for, is to say, look, your baby's ugly. And the Chargers baby isn't ugly. We just aren't exactly sure how it's going to mature through this awkward stage. The teenage years, they're going to come out good on the other end, because there are things they do all the time. But Mario, you coined the phrase on our show, is when you just say, man, they charged it. And it just feels like that's what this franchise has done. Some franchises feel like they're jinxed, right? The Cubs felt that way for a number of years as you wore a Cubs hat. And you go, it's just the way it is. And so for Charger fans, man, it's been a long time that the Chargers have existed, and they still don't have a Super Bowl trophy. And so you sit there and you just kind of shake your head and say, one day they're the only team in the AFC West that doesn't have a trophy.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Chargers are the kid going through puberty right now that just he went to the dentist and they just told him he has braces for another year, and then he can't get on Accutane, so he has like warts over his face. And the parents are sitting there going, I think our kid's gonna have a tough bounce in life and really struggle to get a girlfriend or boyfriend. Key thing that we should spitball here, Dave. If we want to get a little bit more downloads before we talk Charger football, I promise we are. Sorry for other stuff, folks, but I'm just saying, it'd be really, really funny. I think we'd get the numbers up if we're like Josh taking some time away from the show, bad fight with Dave, like doesn't want to be around anymore. Like that would be something that would be pretty funny. We get the numbers up, like what happened? You gotta tune into the pod, man. You gotta tune into what happened. Like it's pretty crazy. I don't know what happened between you two. I'm just the moderator. But yeah, we're working on it.
That's funny. Anyone who knows Josh and I think we have the best father-son relationship I've ever seen. I mean, I couldn't be more proud of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's and I put it this way, I'm extremely proud of being a dad more than anything else in my life. You know, and I've had a chance to do a lot of good things, and experience a lot of good things. One thing, the three most unique things about me, or two most unique things about me, I'll just go there, are one is I've met every famous person I ever wanted to meet. That is weird.
That is weird.
You know, I mean,
That's
from
a
the
good
time
feeling,
I was
though.
from the time I was a little kid to an adult, I've literally met, not just like I was in their presence, but literally met and spoke to them is very strange. And the other thing is, Mario, I've been on 3 reality TV shows. That's weird.
Which ones?
So, first one I was on was a TV show called Blind Date. Okay.
And you were the date?
No, I wasn't a date. I was married at the time. Actually, I even had Josh at the time. Part of the date was they had to go on my talk show. The show was when you were a little kid, but they had to do 3 things, and the part of the date was the couple had to go on my show, and the girl was a train wreck. I felt so bad for the guy. She was a mess, you know. So then, you know, is this a match or not a match? Next one, I was on Gene Simmons' Family Jewels with
Okay.
you know, from Kiss.
Yeah.
And then Bar Rescue.
Were you on Bar Rescue?
Yeah, on Bar Rescue. Yeah.
That is a Hall of Fame show.
That's what everyone says. Every time one of those airs, and now it's always Barb Rescue that seems to air every weekend, I get lit up either on Twitter or phone calls of people saying, dude, I just saw you on Bar Rescue. Because I was the undercover guy. I was the guy who had the mic on that had to order drinks. And then and that was crazy too. But yeah, that's weird. I mean, how many guys are on one reality show, let alone 3 of them?
So
yeah.
That first off, I love that show because it cracks me up of like the camera in the car, and like it's the same thing with every bar. The bartender's like a young guy or older person gets way too drunk, and they like you order a vodka soda, they give you a whiskey ginger, like it's something crazy. So my first question to you: did they actually have a camera on the car watching? Because that looks so fake. And then
it's all real. That was just like
that was real.
Just like it is. All that was set to go.
Were you given a script when you walked in, or
no? Not a script. I was told what to order. I was told to order like an old fashioned or something.
And it was that bad when you got it?
No. So here's the deal. The person I went in with, theirs was terrible. So I can't remember the drink he had, but it was supposed to be, the alcohol was supposed to be refrigerated, and his wasn't. We're drinking for 3 hours. We're sitting there for 3 hours as they're recording this thing, and they you know, he kicks the door in, loses his mind, starts screaming at everybody like he normally does. Nice guy, but you know, it's just like it was so over the top that there was stuff that he said. I'm like, you can't put that on TV. And then it was edited out. So they're like, how long's this been on the shelf? Talking about the alcohol that my friend was drinking. And my friend's a germ freak too, by the way. And they go, it's been on the shelf for 6 months. This alcohol is supposed to be in the refrigerator. and I look over at my buddy, and he looks like he's going to pass out. Like, what does that mean? And then he takes a lighter and he puts it underneath the bottle like this, you know?
Yeah.
And like this. And dude, you could see the whole thing was filled with the bugs. It was live bugs and alcohol, dude. And I look over at the guy, and I just went, you want me to take an urgent care right now? he looked like he saw a ghost. When he saw that he's been drinking bugs for 3 hours, oh my God, he
is
panicked.
Disgusting.
Yeah, he panicked, man.
So
that was it.
I have so many more questions because I'm a huge fan of the show.
Oh yeah, no, I'll tell you more. I guess when we get off of this, we should be talking Charger football over 10.
Okay, yeah, one more question for because I know people are. We'll do one more question. So did anyone know when he was like? They obviously know he's coming, but they don't know when he's coming. Obviously, the freak out.
Yeah, I don't know the full details on that. I just know when I was told to show up. You know, they know they're coming in. I mean, they're hoping for help.
Yeah. How bad was the food?
Although the kitchen was basically non-existent. It was bad. It was so dirty, man. It was a place I would never go. I mean, it was horrible. They fixed it up, did a good job. I don't know what it's like now. It's in Miramar. Miramar's like you ever see the movie Top Gun?
Yeah.
It's one of the, it's a bar like for guys who are Top Gun pilots like that.
Okay.
Just like that here in San Diego. So
Wait, Top Gun's real?
well, they have like Top Gun guys. Like they have the real, I don't know what the hell they're actually called. I'll be honest with you. This is where I fall into problems. Top Gun's movie I've seen one time, but a buddy of mine,
Yeah,
we're just
same.
talking about the bar in the movie where he sings and the whole deal. That's a real place. It actually burnt to the ground. They had to rebuild it. But all that stuff's here in San Diego. So people love Top Gun. And San Diego's a big military town too. And so I don't know if you realize that it's an interesting city the way it sets up, because what you think of California is not what San Diego is exactly. So you understand? So California, okay, let's go from like just San Francisco, LA, it's blue. San Diego is very red.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a blueberry and a strawberry farm.
It's a little purple.
Oh, strawberry and a blueberry farm.
Yeah.
You like that one? It's off the noggin.
So that's politics wise, that's the way it's broken up. But yeah, San Francisco, LA is more blue and San Diego is more red.
Huh. That makes sense why you want to stay.
Stay where? Stay where? Dude, I was born in LA and I support the LA teams. I'll just leave it at that. How about that? I don't want to get into politics.
Let's talk Chargers.
But all my neighbors are like Navy SEALs, so I don't want to say anything either. So
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
There you go. All right, so Chargers. All right, so you text me today and said, hey, what do you want to talk about now that Josh isn't here? You came up with an idea that I kind of liked, and I think Charger fans will be interested in this too, because we start playing the game in our mind, like how good is this team going to be? We're going to be better than most. I think most people say this is a really talented team, and we spoke about the prime time games. Not everybody got 6 games in prime time. The Chargers got 6 games in prime time. It's very rare. Actually, I used to think the rule was you couldn't have more than 5, but if they could, they'd put the Dallas Cowboys obviously in primetime games every single week. You just, it becomes ridiculous. So I know, let's see, the Cowboys, the Buffalo Bills, the Chargers, all of those teams have 6 games, which is impressive as can be, so it shows that this is basically, and the Chiefs are the other one. So there's only 4 teams that get that. So it shows you the NFL believes the Chargers are entertaining and have something to show for it. So one of the things you said to me was, let's pick 2 guys that need to have big years this year for the Chargers to have success. Not only make the playoffs. The playoffs aren't enough. Sean Merriman was on the other day, and it was great having Sean on. But you want to hear Super Bowl. That's the plan, right? You don't win a Super Bowl, basically you're disappointed. Understand 31 teams finish the year disappointed. There's unproven business. So right now for you, as it was your idea, which direction are you going as far as going there? These are the 2 guys that need to step up for the Chargers this season.
So I went one offensive guy, one defensive guy.
Okay.
So that's what I went with right away. One guy was very, very easy, and the other one, it was kind of like a gimme. But like I was just trying to think a little bit outside the box on where this will go. So my first one, J.C. Jackson, right?
Yes.
Big off seasons. Wow, big free agent signing last season. I am on my 3rd show today, and I'm slowing down. Big offseason signing. Pay him a lot. 5-year, $82.5 million contract. $40 million of that is guaranteed. And last year, he didn't do much. He came back definitely before he should have, which is absolutely fine. Like that's a competitor in him. He wanted to. But when he came back, he wasn't himself. He wasn't the player he should be. And it really showed. And what we need J.C. Jackson to be is that corner that he was in 2020 and 2021, where he was second in the league in interceptions. We need that type of corner in a division where you face Devontae Adams twice and face Sutton twice. And you're going to have to face Garrett Wilson this year. Like, you're going to face DJ Moore this year. Like, there's a lot of talented receivers, Stephon Diggs, on our schedule. You're going to need him to show up. Let's see if he can get what he's paid. If he plays at the level that he's paid at, Chargers defense is going to sit really, really pretty with Michael Davis going on the other side and being just as good. So here's my first quick one right off the bat. J.C. Jackson needs to have a really, really big 2023 season. I think if he has a big one, that the amount of points Chargers will allow is at least going to go down by a touchdown because he's good enough where he can take away a touchdown a game, take away that opportunity every single time. So J.C. Jackson, by far in advance. We have this short window. You're part of this window. You're a key part of winning this. You're part of a winning culture down in New England. Let's get it going for 2023. J.C. Jackson needs a big, big, big year.
All right. So look, I'll tell you right now, I have J.C. Jackson too, and the reason is it's obviously the biggest gimme on the roster, right? It's not Chargers didn't get what they paid for. You went through exactly everything they were offered to them. So look, he only had 12 solo tackles last year. 12. No interceptions, no sacks, just 12 tackles. Nothing. So when you talk about the difference in points, yeah, that's exactly what you expect. If he plays to what the Chargers thought they were buying, the Chargers are a completely different team, and you don't have to worry about a lot. Right now, I think there's a major concern for the Chargers of what did they just pay for? And then you start questioning yourself, if Bill Belichick's a defensive coach and his specialty is defensive backs, how is it that he let J.C. Jackson go? He only spent, 5 years in the league before the Patriots let him just walk right out the door? Yeah. So you wonder, hey, did they know something that the Chargers didn't know? What was it about this guy that were willing to let it go? Because it's not like the Patriots do this with every big-time defensive player. Yeah, they've let guys walk away in the past. But, man, when they had Gilmore, they held on to Gilmore, right? They understand quality players, yet they let this guy, who everyone was saying was the best at his position, just leave. And he leaves, and the Chargers jump on it. As Charger fans were excited. Everybody likes the big names and the shiny new toy, and what a move. And then the move has been a disaster. I think there's major concern with the Chargers of wondering who this guy is. And here's the worst case scenario. What did you say? $40 million was guaranteed?
Yeah, $40 million guaranteed. Yeah.
$40 million guaranteed in that contract. Mario, what if he's not good enough to be a starter? What if he's on the roster and he's not a starter? Because we've seen this happen in professional football all the time, where not always the best player plays. It's GMs and coaches trying to justify their jobs, and they play guys ahead of guys that might be a little bit better. And what if it ends up hurting the Chargers that he's even on the team,
Yeah. It'd be a Charger thing, right? That'd be the most Charger thing ever, where we get a guy that's a beast on another team and he comes in and sucks. That not be Chargers?
Gosh. It is, and it's not even the fact he takes up a roster spot. It's the fact that the money is going to sit there and handcuff this franchise for 5 seasons. But he's definitely the biggest concern. I was trying to pick someone out that you wouldn't pick, but I was like, this one's so obvious that you have to pick J.C. Jackson. Has to be the guy. He has a ton to prove. Yeah,
he has a ton to prove, and like you said, if he doesn't, think about that money, where that could go to. I could go to Herbert. I could go to Eckler. Keep him around. Guys that matter in these pieces. If he does not perform, then that's just money wasted. Also, when are we going to be harder on Belichick? When is the media allowed to do that?
Okay, so that's a great question. So if you look at Bill Belichick's, combined coaching record, he has a losing record without Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But yet he's supposed to be the greatest coach of all time. He obviously can't coach offense. It's very strange to me that he has zero idea of what happens on the offensive side of the ball, to the point where he put a defensive coordinator in as basically the offensive coordinator last year. Not saying Mac Jones is on pace to be Aaron Rodgers, but you completely killed Mac Jones. You any growth that he thought he had, he basically took a year off. Plus, he lost a ton of confidence in whatever he had and whatever you thought you had in him. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So Bill Belichick's supposed to be the greatest coach of all time, and he wants to hang around for the all-time wins list ahead of Don Shula. So he's looking at probably 3 more seasons before he could even get to that. 3 to 4 seasons before he passes Don Shula as the winningest coach of all time. I think right now, Bill Belichick's, I think in the end, he's going to be remembered for his Super Bowl trophies. But I think football fans will say, man, he didn't exactly finish, on a high note. I mean, the Patriots are on pace to finish in last place in that division for the rest of his career. And then he's going to retire. And then it's going to be over.
And that's my thing, too. And he's not a good drafter. He's not good.
Oh, never has been. Never has been.
Never has been. And look, I'm not going to sit here and say he's not the greatest coach of all time. Look, I know that. Obviously, 6 Super Bowls, probably will never be topped ever again. But it's very hard to ignore look, I didn't think Mac Jones was going to be very good. I was never a big fan of Mac Jones.
Yeah.
But the lack of help and support they've given him has truly been insane to me. Not
Yeah.
going aggressive on receivers, not going aggressive on a running back room. It's just nothing. And it's the thing too, is like, I guess New England's kind of a free agency destination. I mean, you're in a big city of Boston. It's a big sports city. There's a lot of money that could come your way. But also, what free agent wants to come play for a hard-nosed, strict to the gills coach when there's
Yeah.
not the greatest player of all time on that team? Like, who wants to do that? And I think now you kind of see the kinks in the armor of, yeah, he's not that good of a drafter. I don't know if he's that good at building a team, but it's always like, well, just let him cook. It's Bill Belichick. And I just think it's an interesting thing to be like, all right, but how long are we going to let him cook before we say, hey, maybe someone else should be in the draft room? Because you're not doing too high of a job, buddy boy. Like, let's just like maybe get someone else in there. And then his son has a weird faux hawk, mohawk, mullet thing. He's like licking his lips like he just was at a Chinese buffet and they just put out new food. Like, it's a weird thing that they have going on. But anyways, so let's charge a football. So who do you have
Well,
on
hold
the
on.
offense?
Wait,
Yeah,
real
go
quick,
ahead.
real quick.
Okay.
Since you brought it up, there's only one guy on the entire Patriots team that I would like on my team,
Okay,
and
who it is?
that's Matthew Judon. That's it. The only
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
I think the entire team stinks.
Yeah, it's awful.
The whole roster is absolutely terrible. And Judon or Judon, whatever how you want to pronounce it, he's by far the best player on that team. But everybody else stinks. You have 52 guys that don't do anything.
Yeah, they're terrible. I mean, if you're covering that team, I would be so frustrated because it's like you want to yell about like their management issues, but
Yeah.
you can't yell about it because it's like, well, you gave us 6 Super Bowls. Like, I want to shut my mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'll put my hoodie on and shut up.
Yeah. It's like a kid that grew up in a mansion and then's mad that he got a lake house on a beach house. It's like, well, you know, kind of got enough.
You kind of got enough. All right, give me your second guy. Who's the second guy in the Chargers needs to have a big year?
Yeah, so I guess this one's just kind of basic and a no-brainer and a wild nice, but it's got to be Herbert coming up on a contract year.
Are you worried? Are you worried
that he's going to fold in 2023?
Yeah.
No, because I think of Kellen Moore, that new kind of adjustment's going to be huge. I think being able to push the ball a little bit more downfield is going to be huge. I think he's mad. I think he's a competitor. I think he's frustrated over that horrific loss they had last year where, let's be honest, he came up short and leading that team to win that game where he got beat up by Trevor Lawrence. I mean, you can obviously there's other things that factored into it. It wasn't like a Herbert loss or Herbert lost that game, but at the same time, we didn't get a game-winning drive from him to win that game. We're at a time where QBs are getting big contracts, and we're at a time where probably QBs get compared the most in a very competitive class that he was in. Jalen Hurts gets paid big. Burrow's got a Super Bowl run. He's going to get paid big. And Lamar Jackson got an MVP, and he got paid big. What do you have? You have second in passing yards in 2022 and 2021. I believe in 2020. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. He wasn't top 5 in 2020. But that's all you have. That's amazing. You have regular season stats are amazing. Great. Good for you. You don't have any playoff wins. You don't have a good playoff resume. And can we sit here and say a game where he was like godly and then he was 2 full segments on first take the next morning? Like, no, but you have that with Mahomes. You have that with Burrow. You have that with Jackson. So I think he needs to take this next step for money. For one, I'm about to sound like the most hot take person ever when I say this, but hear me out. A little bit of legacy and who he is, right? We're going to find out if he's a winner. We're going to find out what his legacy is kind of leading into. We're going to find out if he's a Joel Embiid of the NFL, where he just plays really, really good in the regular season. Then we hit playoffs, kind of bottoms out.
All right, here you go. I might surprise you on this one. I wish Josh was actually on the show just for me to say this because this is going to be my my hot opinion of the year right here. My prediction for MVP of the NFL is Justin Herbert this year.
Really?
I think Justin Herbert wins MVP this year. Okay.
Okay.
I know you're writing it down. I see that arm going. So
yeah. It's a highlight, baby.
Justin Herbert wins MVP for a variety of reasons. Number one is he's never had more tools to work with than right now, especially if everyone that was injured last year comes back and can play a little bit more than they did a year ago because you lost Slater right at the very beginning. The offensive line's going to get better. Austin Eckler has a ton to prove. Obviously, Herbert gets points and gets credit for dumping the ball off to him. You have Keenan Allen, who's getting up in age, who wants that Super Bowl. You have Mike Williams is getting better. You drafted a wide receiver in the first round. You have a tight end that can catch the ball. You have so many different weapons. But the reason that I think honestly puts him over the top, you want to talk about a guy who has a lot to prove. It's Kellen Moore. And we talk about him every single week. Dude, you know he's upset with the Cowboys. You know he's upset with Jerry Jones. You know the National Football League. He's one of the few coordinators where people know his name because he was with the Cowboys. He wants to be a head coach in this league. And Chargers might only have him for 1 year before he's offered a head coaching job. But you know who else also didn't seem to stand up for him? And if he got what he wanted, maybe he would have still been in Dallas, and maybe they would have got rid of their head coach and named him the head coach. Dak Prescott. Where was Dak? When they blew out your OC, where were you, Dak? I didn't hear you anywhere. You know, obviously you didn't fight enough for him to say we got to keep this guy. This guy's the most important part of our offensive game plan, and we've done a great job for us being in the top 3, top 4 in the last few years. Watch him say, hey, guess what? It wasn't me. It was you guys. Watch the Cowboys, see where their final record is. Let's see Dak's numbers against Justin Herbert's records. And that's the only way Kellen Moore can prove his worth is by Justin Herbert having a gigantic year. And we all know Justin's playing for the big contract. So my point is that I think Justin goes out and has a huge year because Kellen Moore and him are going to be on a mission. They both have major goals, and these are lifelong NFL goals, and it all has to start this year for both of them to get what they want. One guy to become a head coach, and the other guy to get the contract that he wants. And this is the year that I think Justin Herbert is the MVP favorite. If I was a wagering guy, Justin Herbert be my money.
I like this.
My futures pick.
He's got a good price on him too. So what do you think he needs to win that MVP?
Health, not his health, other people's health. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's Keenan Allen, it's Mike Williams. I mean, I know I say tongue in cheek that Mike Williams and Joey Bosa, it's a matter of time before they get hurt because they always get hurt. But you know, even when you look at the other receivers the Chargers had, not counting what they did in the first round, there's still other guys there. You're even getting Guyton back, right? You're getting guys back that can help you out, you know. And then overall, I think it all comes down to health. If those guys can, let's say, stay as healthy as the other teams that normally they compete with, whether it's the Broncos or the Chiefs or even the Raiders wide receivers. I know Hunter Renfrow was out for a long time last year for them. Anything's better than what they got last year. Last year was insane. How many times the Chargers went into games and you're going, dude, he's down to his number 3 and has now turned to his number 1. It happens all the time to him. So it all comes down to health. And that offensive line, people who don't follow the NFL and only follow the ball, where, you know, they say true football fans follow the lines from the inside out, I should say. Do you understand how important Rashawn Slater is? What a great player he is. And he didn't have him basically all of last season.
That's good. Key thing you brought up too, because that's also being comfortable as a QB. When you have a backup lineman on your own line, that drop back's a little bit scarier. You're looking at the line a little bit more than you're looking at the secondary, making your read. I'm not saying Slater didn't come in and kill it. He definitely did. But that is a big hesitant thing for QBs. It's like, do I need to worry right now? Do I need to worry that Chris Jones is coming off him pretty quick? Do I have to worry, that Crosby's going to be coming quick? Like, you got to worry about these things. And then at the same time, you got to read a coverage against guys that are pretty damn good at disguising coverages and finding the right matchup and getting guys open. So it's a very, very hard thing to do. I would love it if you won MVP. I think in order to win MVP, I agree with you. It's health of the Chargers. I think Mahomes is going to get voter fatigue, and he's going to need pretty much a all-time I am Zeus year for him. Yeah. Like undefeated type, I think, for him to get another MVP just because of how good he is. We're coming on.
Don't you think the NFL's been trying to give it to Josh Allen and now maybe Joe Burrow?
Oh, don't get me started on Josh Allen. Dude, in 2021, right? In 2021, Vegas was literally trying to get you to pay. It was trying to get you to vote for Josh Allen for MVP. That's literally what they were doing. Because it was at the time where Rodgers wasn't really taking off yet. It was about early to middle of the season. There was no like clear-cut MVP guy, but Josh Allen was still getting bet. And it's like, dude, stop shoving this guy down my throat like it's something else. And like, let me decide who the real MVP is, man. Like, this is insane. And it happened the whole time. The next team loses it. And then now we're at the point where it's like Josh Allen's like the next one up for the award, right? Like, it's like, all right, now it's Josh's turn. Like, all right.
Yeah.
We'll have
I don't
him
think you're wrong, though. I don't think you're wrong in that voter critique. We just saw it in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
The Joker should have got it. I mean, the Joker was absolutely ridiculous, and he stays healthy. Yet they weren't going to give it to him 3 years in a row. And who's the guy that's still playing? Out of all those candidates, who's the guy that's still playing? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes doesn't deserve it. He did deserve it last year, but I think honestly the NFL has now, my opinion, I think the Josh Allen train has left, and I think it's all going to be Joe Burrow next year. You're going to see Joe Burrow over and over again.
I think so too, and Burrow is going to have some really, really nice games against some defenses in the division. That's going to help that, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Bold City leads a charge for Herbert for MVP, and he throws us some money to do it, which is okay.
Dude, I would love to see. I'd love to see him win MVP. I think that'd be awesome. Here's the funny thing. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of individual awards. Like here's the deal. If Justin Herbert wins MVP, it really is not good for the Chargers. Meaning it's just more money you got to pay him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you always see people do that all the time. Like, my favorite player won MVP. Okay, well, now you got to pay him. That which means you pay him, now you can't pay somebody else. And in reality, you didn't become an NFL fan because you've been a member of Justin Herbert's family. You're a Charger fan because that's the team that you somehow grabbed you, and all of a sudden, it started with LaDainian Tomlinson or whoever you were watching, and you're going, this is why I'm a fan, but I'm a Charger fan. Like when Justin Herbert retires, we'll be rooting for the Chargers. But fans fall into, man, this individual award stuff that in the end really does come back to hurt you because there's a salary cap.
Yeah. I think the only thing too that gets annoying about the MVP, and this happens more in the NBA, but it's definitely going to happen in the NFL. If you would have said Jokic is the MVP in Philly, dude, like put it on a bulletproof vest, probably something bulletproof on the arms, like face guard. Like you're gonna get your clock clean.
Oh, you're getting
like it is, Like, and it's like, dude, like it's being logical, and it's not like there's a solid argument for both. It's not like you're right or wrong. Like there's an argument for both. But if we do get to that point right now, I'll let you guys know here at Bolt City, if it's Herbert and Burrow, and we get like that, you better not see me in the freaking streets. I'll freaking F you up, dude. I took two jiu-jitsu classes. Let me tell you, I know a mean hook.
I took two. All right, so Herbert was your guy. I got to give you my second guy. All right, so it's funny is I was looking through the roster. I'm like, okay, who? And I was gonna do like you. I was gonna go offense and defense. Mm-hmm. Dude, I had to go defense again. Okay, and Joey I know Bosa. Right now, I knew it. Right now in your head, you're thinking Joey Bosa.
Yeah,
no, it is not Joey Bosa. I didn't go that route. It's not Joey Bosa. Okay.
Eric Kendricks.
When I say his name right now, you're gonna go. I don't think you've mentioned his name more than 2 times in a year. It's Kenneth Murray. It's Kenneth Murray. Big waist of space. Hasn't done anything. Matter of fact, if you look at his stats last year compared to even the years before, he's on pace that he's getting worse as his career is going on. And so Kenneth Murray, 37 solo tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception. And he was a number 1 overall pick. He was supposed to be a stud coming out of Oklahoma. And Kenneth Murray is just a guy. And you don't need just a guy. You need a guy that's going to go out and make a difference. And I don't know why the Chargers would have taken him to begin with. I mean, you look at him, he's athletic and he looked fine in college. Dude, he's in the worst conference for defense. I mean, there's a reason why Lincoln Riley could not win at Oklahoma. They had no defense. They'd score 50-something points a game and still lose. And it going, Kenneth Murray? Why? Why would you draft anybody that's especially a linebacker? I just don't understand. Maybe there's a guy that's a corner or safety that has some talent that it's not all his fault. But holy cow, man, you're a linebacker. You're the guy that's supposed to be the key of what makes that Oklahoma defense go. And then the Chargers take him. I remember shaking my head going, why? Why do they do that? And then he's played exactly the way I thought he was going to play, Mario, and it's very disappointing because the Chargers need him. And this kind of falls into that category that you and I were just talking about. Do the Chargers stuck playing a guy because they put their neck on the line and their name on the line to the owner to say, "Hey, Kenneth Murray's our guy. Watch this," and now they know he's garbage, and you go, "We still have him on the roster." He's not gonna. Once the contract's up, he's gonna go. Like they aren't gonna pick up his options. What I should say. But
Yeah.
at the same time, you wasted a first round pick on this guy, and his numbers aren't getting any better as he plays in the NFL longer and longer. His numbers aren't getting better; they're getting worse.
And it's also, you look at the numbers as well in the run game. It's like, where you been, bud? Like,
Exactly.
we
We
got
say it every
torch on
week.
the run. Yeah,
We
every
say it
week.
every week, and we blame the D line all the time. And the D line's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" You know what I mean? If we had like Sebastian Joseph Day on right now, he would say, "Dude, I'm getting double teamed." And how about the guy behind me helping out a little bit? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. How about they do something? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, that's what they're there for. That's
Yeah.
what they're there for. You know?
I'm with you. And
It's in the title of the job. You're a linebacker.
Yeah, back the line.
Heck.
It's gonna be interesting too if Eric Kendricks helps him out in any certain way too. Like,
I
if
hope
maybe if that
so.
can, yeah, that's
You
a
know
good one
what?
though. Good for
Okay,
you,
so
Dave.
for actually putting some thought into something. Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I honestly hope that obviously, yeah, it does make a difference. But at the same time, man, I'm going, is he too old? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Why is he no longer with the bike? So you go, okay, did they make a mistake? I don't know. That just there. And then they here's a signing that happened, and of course we didn't get into it on the last show. We had Sean Merriman on the Chargers. Of course, they signed veteran defensive lineman Nick Williams. Now I'll just read you the post from the Chargers. Since entering the league as a 7th round selection, 223 overall from the Steelers in 2013, Williams has appeared in 83 career games, 42 starts, Giants, Lions, Bears, Dolphins, Chiefs, as well as 2 postseason outings with Kansas City and Miami. Over 9 seasons in the NFL, Williams has totaled, this kind of gets depressing. Okay, 9 seasons, 125 tackles, 67 solo. Holy mackerel. Okay, 67 basically tackles in 9 seasons. 7.5 sacks, 12 tackles for loss, as well as 7 passes defended, 2 fumble recoveries. As a member of the Bears in 2019, Williams appeared in all 16 regular season games, 5 starts, recorded a career 6 sacks as a member of that Chicago defense. Now, I got to ask you, he also went to Samford, not Stanford, but Samford. That's a small school in Alabama. So, question to you: you followed the Bears because they're in your backyard. Do you remember this guy?
I do remember him. This isn't a life-altering release a pod right now. Gotta get on it. Like, storyline.
Buying a jersey? You buying a jersey?
Yeah. Buy a jersey. You're wondering what the jersey sale is going to be, or you're betting now on a future price before it changes in gambling. Like, it's nothing like that. Like, he's a good pickup. We're beefing up our D line, which we badly need. Look, he's a good player. He's energetic. He's a veteran. He's been around the block. I would be lying if like there's something to run hoe about. Like, it's just not. Like, he'll be a good player for us. He'd help with Tully on the inside. Like, but like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, Dave, we did it. You know what I'm saying? Like we're there. And I'm not gonna say that, but it is. The Chargers filled the need that they have. They need more D linemen right now, and that is something they did right. They filled the D line. It's a veteran. It's someone they need. It probably is a good locker room guy. That's really, really good. And shout out Chase Daniel for breaking that story. We left that one out. Source, Chase Daniel.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he broke that. Then it said, I miss Josh Palet right under it. And then it said, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Bold City.
Speaking of that, do you have any YouTube comments in there that you want to get across?
I do have a couple YouTube comments. Okay. Obviously, guys, you can go to YouTube and just search Bolt City, and you'll see our 3 pretty faces. Make sure you subscribe, and make sure to leave a comment. Comments are always good. They're always fun. We'll read them aloud. Good, bad, or indifferent, leave them up there. All right. First one. This was a debate that we had earlier last show. Yeah, this was last show, I think. Obi-Wan Kenobi was definitely team high ground.
Oh yeah, what the hell? Yeah,
Yeah, he
first
was
of
team
all,
high ground.
okay, let me point this out to
Remember?
you. We were
It's
not
over,
preaching.
Anakin. I have the
we
high
were
ground.
we were not preaching fights at NFL games. Matter of fact, the
Yes.
conversation started off with we're sick and tired of the fights at NFL games. And then it
Yes.
turned into if you find yourself in that situation, is it better to be low ground or high ground? High ground won.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because the
by a
smarter
lot, by
way.
like 75%.
Yeah, tell Anakin that with his 2 missing legs and like no arms.
Yeah.
That
See,
Buddy
my move,
knows.
I don't know. I would think I would reach up, grab the guy's jersey, pull him forward, and then just start beating him in the head.
But
If I'm high ground, I get one good punch, and then where do I go from there?
but you're a big dude. So like that, so
Yeah,
you're probably already stronger than the guy. So
yeah,
like if I just grab a normal man and I try to pull
yeah,
down, I'm
yeah.
a idiot. I'm getting smoked in the face. Like
I
that's
gotcha.
not working for me. Yeah. So it's like you gotta
Yeah,
go high ground. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And
No,
be a Jedi.
that's funny. No, yeah. Well, you and I aren't fighting, but yeah, I got really good hands for
Yeah.
some reason. I remember my Josh's brother, man. When I got upset with him, and I snapped his iPhone in half with one hand, and he's like, "How the hell you just do that?"
That's just
like
impressive.
he's like you broke my phone with one hand. How do you just snap it in half with one hand? Yeah, no, I got you. Now, I hope none of us are ever in a fight. I don't encourage it at all. So that's the last thing I wanted that message to be. We were encouraging fighting. Someone wrote a note to me on Twitter about it. I said, no, we were actually going against it. That's what we are saying. We're sick and tired of the fights.
I
Done
think
with it.
they're playing into the bit. Like we're not promoting fighting, but
Okay.
here's your
Yes.
strategy. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Got it. Got it. I hope
yeah.
so.
We're
Yeah.
helping people be safe.
Just go to the game and go home. That's
Yeah, just
it.
go to the game. Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
I mean, when my team loses and I walk out of the stadium, I usually don't say a word. If my team wins, and let's say you're a Chiefs fan walking next to me, I will not say a word. I'll say good game
yeah.
to you and kind of smile. But man, I never ever try and poke the bear. I don't understand poking the bear.
First off, very, very, very funny. Just picturing you going up
Yeah.
to a random fan and going, "Good game," like you laced them
No,
up. That's
well, because
funny. That's
well, that,
that's
yeah, yeah.
funny.
Well, because this is how it worked. Like we went to a Lakers Celtics game, all right, a year ago. And the Lakers Celtics is a
So,
rivalry. And in LA, there's still a bunch of Boston fans because as
yeah,
such people transplant. When the game was over, I can't tell you how many Celtic fans turned around to me and Josh. They just shook our hand. Didn't say anything. Hey, good
really.
game. Shook our hand. Yeah. Like that was it. We're done. But when you leave SoFi Stadium, and if you're coming out for the Chicago game, you're gonna see you have to leave, man. It's so hard just to walk out of there. You're stuck in these
Yeah,
little escalators and you're just on top of people. And there's a good chance you're stuck next to someone that's wearing a jersey of someone you don't like, and somebody always runs their mouth, and fights always start. It's just
I
running their
was
mouths, and
I
usually
was
it's the
about to
women. I hate to tell you, it's the women, not the men.
Yeah, or the smallest guy, aka me. But I this is where I think I grew up pretty bad. Is like I don't know what was put in me, but I was always taught if you're gonna now it sounds like I'm promoting fighting. I am not. But when I
Yeah,
was playing sports, um, I had a coach that would tell us if we lose, we lose, but at least we know we can kick their ass. That's what he would always say. He's like, you gotta find one kid. If you know you kick their ass, it's gonna make you feel a little bit better. And I've always thought about that. And I think I put that in fansmanship. Like if I walk out of a stadium, I'm pretty.
yeah,
When the Bulls lost to the Pacers, and I was walking out of that stadium, head held high, and like someone was saying, I had a quick chirp back to everyone that got little lip from. I had a
yeah.
quick chirp back, and you best believe make no mistake that it was way personal and way over the line, and that I did win the chirp
How old
battle.
were you? How old were you?
24 this past year, but that's that's besides the point.
Dude, I literally thought you were gonna say 12.
No, no, I did tell
That
a
was
Packer
this
fan
past year.
to go F yourself when I was like 14.
Yeah.
Which what can you do? You're at Walmart, anything goes. Um, YouTube. Let's keep going to the YouTube comments.
Okay.
Uh, we have one more. We have three more. I'm sorry. Only one back-to-back road games, and it's early. Don't like the early bye. That's
That's
pretty.
what we
That's
said.
something we like forgot to mention. It's very well said.
Yeah,
Thanks. Yeah, that's a good one.
absolutely right.
I like this guy. This guy, his name was Bolt Up Baby, and he had a really cute kid in his profile picture with backwards hat. So cute kid, if that's yours. He said for many years the league had 4 preseason games and 14 regular season games with no bye weeks. Get over it. Okay. Well, it's obviously a lot more physical
Yeah,
game, and everyone's a lot
yeah,
stronger, faster, and
yeah,
quicker. So that bad take.
yeah. When defensive ends were 190 pounds, come
Yeah,
on, man.
yeah,
Things change. It's like, man, nothing frustrates me more than the people that say, back in my day, we didn't have to wear seatbelts, and we came in when the street lights, came on. Well, guess what?
yeah,
You know why there's a law that you wear seatbelts? You know how many kids went through the freaking windshield before they
yeah,
came out with that seatbelt law? There's a reason. You know why people now tell you to come in before the street lights come on? Because there were kidnappings. That's why.
yeah,
Things happen, stupid. I mean, the average NFL player dies before age of 53.
yeah,
These guys, honestly, man, it's a big damn deal. Look, you get this all the time, and from even college football. I'll tell you, as a dad who had a son who played at a major university and a major conference that was at Alabama and the SEC. Dude, I know what happens, man, to my kid's body because he tells me on the phone. I know what's going on when those guys are playing. Alabama's playing LSU or playing Tennessee or whoever the hell they're going, Georgia, and those are NFL guys. And then college fans want you to play 10 of those games in a row. Oh, what do you
yeah,
mean you're playing Kent State in the second to last game of the year? Dude, it's to get healthy. Those kids are taking a beating, man. They're taking a beating, and they aren't getting paid for it. At the time, they weren't getting paid for it. But you can ask Josh next time he comes back on, because I said to Josh, I go, Josh, I know a bunch of GMs in the NFL. Do you want me to get you a tryout in the league? His answer was, Dad, my body hurts. He goes, he said it hurt. It took 2 years for him to feel healthy. And he was a quarterback with a different colored jersey, but he got hit in practice all the time. And he goes, my
yeah.
body hurts. So people don't understand, man, what the hell they're talking about. I agree to the point, the bye week in week 5 is too early for the Chargers. It's something that could come back to hurt them, especially a team that gets injured all the time.
I always think people forget too. There's hits in practice.
Yeah.
Like those pile up as well. Like the training camp hits, like that stuff hits. Like those have an effect, man. And I think that's something that kind of gets left off.
It does. 65 guys off of Josh's team ended up in the NFL. 65. I mean, that you're getting smoked. It's people don't understand. They don't get it.
No. All right. This last one was talking to your comment of when you said, I didn't mean to talk while you're interrupting. I was belly laughing. I'm all in with your comments on the weather. Let's not.
That was. Remember that you got a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a little. Something happened. You got cut off. Didn't realize I was talking. You were doing something, and that was it. I was just teasing you, giving you a hard time.
Yeah, that was a good joke.
Yeah.
It was a good jab. It was a good jab.
Okay. Dude, try it with your friends one time. Next time, or do it at you have a huge family. Do it at like Thanksgiving when you're talking and somebody cuts you off. Just go, I'm sorry. Aunt Rose, I didn't mean to talk while you were interrupting. Just do it like when you're family members.
Oh, with my family, with Lebanese and Italians, the knife's gonna get pulled. A knife's gonna get pulled, and like, you're ungrateful. What are you talking? They bring up trauma from when you're like 14. They're like, yeah. Do you remember when you were dumped and you're 14? You're like, no. God damn. Talking that out in therapy.
Your siblings will laugh. Laugh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. All right. So here's the deal. All right. Next show we do, Mari and I we were writing this list out, and I'm gonna tease it. Go ahead.
Hold on. Can I test out one idea that I had? I texted you about it. Okay.
Did I not get it? Okay.
I think is this weird? So it's an idea of a new segment. It's something that one of us does that's a little bit weird.
Oh yeah.
And we debate if it's weird or not. On the show.
Josh is all in on this, so I think we got to wait for Josh to come back. Josh says I'm in. Yeah, Josh is all excited about this.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be good stuff. I got like 4 in the chamber.
Oh,
yeah.
What you do? This should be a regular segment with you. What's weird? With Mario. Just you.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Look, I'm all for it.
When I was your age, though, Mario, I think my brain worked a lot like yours too. I think I'm at the age now where I just understand. I've been told enough. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. People tell me, but in my mind, I go, this is a good idea. And then that's not a good idea. So
Do you
yeah,
want to
I'm
hear at
curious.
least one? I'll do
You
one.
want to
It's not
do
that
one
great of
and
a
we'll
one.
tease it. I love it. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So I'm trying to get healthier. I'm trying to be team healthy. Trying to get a
Okay.
little bit in shape. It's the summertime. Like you can't be having little,
True.
dad bod doesn't work to get 24-year-old
Yeah.
girls, guys. It just doesn't work for you. You have to be a little built. My poppy always said you gotta be either funny, rich, good looking, or jacked to get a girlfriend.
That was the advice your
So
dad gave you?
it was my
It's not
poppy
wrong.
did. Yeah. Yeah. No,
Okay.
yeah.
Was
Yeah.
Poppy your grandfather or is that
Yeah,
your dad?
yeah. Alcoholic grandfather. Good guy.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of
Got it.
six. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what he said. He had 4 wives. So I was like, maybe that's everything was one
Yeah.
each wife liked. So so I thought of that. So I'm gonna get in shape. And instead of I don't count calories, I don't count macros, or whatever. I just
I don't
count
either.
protein. That's the only thing I count is protein. It's the only thing I look at. So if it has high protein, it's going down the gauntlet. But if it doesn't have high protein, I'm going to stay away from it. And I'm on
Yeah.
like 6 months of this, and there's like kind of been a change, but not really. But I don't want to do the calorie count or the micros or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah. I
That
don't
stuff
do
just
that.
seems like too much time. Yeah.
All right. So here's my question though. Has your stomach started to hurt since you've been doing all this protein? Like I know
So
you don't have the strongest stomach, but if you do too much protein, it can mess up your stomach.
yeah, so that's to my next point is there's no more toilet paper. It's all wipes.
Yeah,
It's all
that's what
dude
I'm saying.
wipes. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all that now because it's just
Yeah.
way too often.
Yeah.
So there's
That's
not
what I'm
like there's
saying.
not a lot of recovery time. Yeah, yeah,
So now here's the issue, man. You're a young guy. I'm sure you like to go out,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden you start thinking, never mind, can I go out? I'm probably gonna have to go to the bathroom at some point while I'm out. Does that freak you out?
I don't have a problem, dude. I will go anywhere. I don't care.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
no problem going anywhere.
That's
Yeah,
like
I've gone
Josh.
porta potties. Yeah, dude,
Josh,
like
same thing. He didn't care.
yeah. Indy 500,
Yeah.
I took a big one, and I like it was like there's like 50 people waiting. I don't care. What are you gonna do? That's what it's there for.
That damn Indy 500, a whole different meaning. Damn it, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
All right, I liked it. I like the segment. What goes through your mind? That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, the other thing I was going to push was we put our list together. I want people to start thinking about their list too, to see how off we are. Top 10 best NFL fan bases, top 10 or bottom 10 worst NFL fan bases. Now, I'll tell you this. On my list, I'll give you an idea already. There's no Chargers, there's no Rams on either one of them because they both came into their markets a short time ago, and they're both building fan bases. Now, the Raiders are in my list somewhere, but I understand they moved as well. I'll explain all that later, but I didn't write the Rams or Chargers in either one of my lists. You can, Mario. I just didn't, but it's one of those things we'll mention though. But kind of curious to know. I'm sure on this show coming up, they're going to be yelling at each other a lot, especially Mario be yelling at me on how dumb I am. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm looking forward to it. Otherwise, we'll be back in a few days. We'll talk more Charger football with you, and of course, have some hopefully some news that the Chargers have going on. Remember, things are still happening with the Chargers until about the 4th of July. Then there's about 6 weeks off, and then or June through the 4th of July, and then there's still time for something to happen in the next week or so. So hopefully, we'll have the latest Charger news for you, the way things are going. But again, no Josh Palet for Mario Herron. I'm Dave Palet. We'll see you next time on the Bolt City podcast. Remember, you can watch the show on YouTube as well. And please put your comments down. We love reading those. That's the first thing we run to just to see what you guys think. So thank you very much. We'll see you next show, everybody.
Miss you, Josh. We hate that.